This is my town administrator report for July 14th, 2026. We're going to ask you to do a few things here and ask your forgiveness on some of the agenda. So a lot of these last minute things happen in July. So although we're into goals and things, there's a lot of year-end closing and trying to finish up town meeting. So my apologies for that, but we're getting through it, and there'll be a couple things for you to discuss and talk about here. So for my coffee hour, unfortunately, it was just me on the patio. It was very sad. It hasn't happened in a while, but we had town hall staff come down, and I had discussions with each of them, trying to take advantage of that hour. So I don't have anything from the community for you, but we did use our time well. In terms of our HR report, we do have a couple resignations to unfortunately give you. First is Kelly Callow, our health director, had a better opportunity. I wouldn't say better, she might, in Littleton to serve as their health director, so she's moving on. And then Officer Rob Ludwig, one of our great patrol officers, is moving on mostly for family reasons.
I feel like we just pinned him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, he's been here a year, but we pinned him late, and then he got a great opportunity. So he was great. I enjoyed working with him, and I wish him the best. He is a young child and is looking for some work-life balance. I want to thank Aubrey wants to thank our custodial team at Carlisle Public Schools for their flexibility and understanding as we transition them to town positions. So that's been a lot of work. We're working with them to identify differences in HR policy to make sure that we're taking care of those employees and that they're comfortable with their time tracking and other things that we don't think about until we have to do them. And then we have scheduled our annual employee training day for Wednesday, October 19th, so we will be closing town hall that day. This is an opportunity to make sure that everybody's trained.
Is August 19th or October 19th?
August 19th.
Thank you.
Did I say October? I guess I'm tired. Make sure everyone's trained on best practices, and then we go over professional development in the afternoon, and we tour various parts of the community. I was going to do the rock that we mentioned earlier, but there's a group going out to see that because of the interest in this bog house. So we're going to find another place of interest. Hopefully a completed police station, but we'll see. For department updates and information, the state budget has been signed through the conference committee stage and has been signed since this was written. So our state aid total is higher than we projected, which means there'll be a slight decrease in our projection of the tax rate. And that does offset some changes. A lot of it is estimate. Also, the supplemental budget included $144,000 for Carlisle to offset costs of winter weather. We had talked about this with you before. So this is going to be a little bit different. It's not going to go into our Chapter 90 as we thought. The way that they're processing this one is you have to use the money to offset the direct costs, or it goes into the general fund to not close until 2028. So Kelly looked at this, and I looked at it, and we decided the best way to do this would be to use it to pay off the snow and ice deficit from this year, so that all of the transfers and savings that you had done would then turn into free cash as of July 1, so a couple weeks ago. So this allows us to use it now or in this coming year instead of in 2 years. And it's what it was intended for. So in order to do that, you would need to vote on some transfers that the Finance Committee has already seen. I'm going to call that up for you. All right, this is weird. There we go. Sorry, give me 1 second. It is in the latest version of the packet. Okay, I got it. All right, so you had initially voted to transfer money out of town hall and general expense, zoning board of appeals, and town accountant's line, and move that to cover the snow and ice deficit. So instead of that, we're just covering the snow and ice deficit as we discussed. One of the reasons why is the deficit itself wasn't exactly $144,000, but the overtime and employee costs, which come from a different line, we were able to use this money for. We vetted this all with the state. All of this is legal maneuvering. We made sure that we called them to talk about what we were trying to do so that it was compliant with what the intention of the RAP funding was. So we feel very good about this recommendation. And if you do too, we have a suggested motion up there for you that would undo some of the transfers and allow us what we think is the best financial option.
I'll make the motion. And I spoke with Kelly about this last week or 2 weeks ago, when we were signing the warrants, and she gave an overview of this. So I'm certainly confident it's all being handled appropriately and it's a smart way to do it. So I move that the select board vote pursuant to MGL Chapter 44, Section 33B, approve year-end transfers between various line items of the fiscal year 2026 budget as detailed in the memo from the town accountant dated June 26, 2026.
Can we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Dave. All in favor, let's do a voice vote. Say aye.
Aye.
Any no votes? Okay, the ayes have it.
And once again, thanks to Kelly and Sandy for their continued diligence and good work on this stuff.
Yeah, this is it was a good problem. The state came through with some funding for a tough winter, and this will allow us to not have that deficit and again use free cash for other priorities in the town, like roads.
And this is also one of those things, if you're not paying attention, you miss, and you don't, I mean, you get the funding, but this tactic is a reflection of them noticing it and saying, hey, so kudos to them.
Yes. Okay, the regional dispatch grant, I alluded to this at your last meeting, but the town of Concord was notified by State 911. Their development grant funding source was not approved. State 911 let them know this. So according to a report from Stephen Johnson, who came and presented to you, the Director of Communications from Concord, the decision was based solely on limited funding availability, not the merits of the proposal. So it was a highly competitive process with more than 139 million in requests competing for 50 million in available funding. State 911 noted that the Collins Center remains available at no cost to assist municipalities. We have a meeting next week to discuss this at the management level to see if this is something we're going to bring to you or not. So as of now, we do not have the grant that we thought we were going to get. We were going to discuss another option, and then either way, we're going to bring it back to you for future decision. So do we apply for a different grant? Do we wait for next year's cycle, or is there another option?
Okay.
That stinks.
An update on your solicitation bylaw application. I attached the application that the police is using per your vote, just for your awareness. So this is what's going out in the community, and anyone who has any issues should contact the police department about solicitation, as they should be following the bylaw that was passed by town meeting.
And
Set at $25.
Yes. Yep.
And so just so people are aware, if someone knocks on your door, they should have a permit.
They should.
So you should ask for the permit, and they should show you the
It
permit.
should be worn on their outer
Okay.
garment, or however it's worded, so you don't even have to ask for it.
Good.
So that provides a level of safety and allows our police to better do their job.
Great.
Our custodial services bid, we worked through our analysis of custodial service bid. I'm liking this trend, but it was a positive financial outcome for us. We worked with the lowest bidder today to make sure they understand the parameters of what we need. So what's happening at CPS as you transition to managing the manager of facilities is we are retaining current staff, great custodial staff, but as vacancies occur, we are replacing them with an agency. And the reason for this is it has been extremely difficult to recruit custodians and keep them. So it's been a little bit of a merry-go-round. There's a lot of training, and as you know, employment costs are the most expensive part of our budget. So we've been working with an agency for the last 5 months in one of our school positions. It's gone very well. They're quarried, they're sorried, they're checked and background checked just like any school employee. And if they call out, they're replaced. So it's a good solution. The things we've had to work through are snow removal, not yet, but we're thinking that through. And then also weekends and other details that our custodians do, things that we don't think about. But we've gone through that. And we think we have a good relationship here with a provider, but we're going to continue to monitor that and see if this is a way to go. Obviously, from a financial standpoint, the biggest part of this is that we do not have to provide benefits to the agency, and overall, the cost of the agency is cheaper than the employee without benefits. So we could see some significant reduction and improving of services, which we also think is very important. All right, very much switching gears here. I got a letter not too long ago from a resident of Concord Street who sent me a Historical Society newsletter from 2023 talking about the Goddess of Liberty, which is the name of the statue, honoring the 13 soldiers from Carlisle who gave their lives in the Civil War. And she was right when she said it's very dirty. So we had Jim look at this and ask a reputable cleaning company what they thought. We put the amount in your packet. We don't have a budget for this, so this would have to become from your expense line, but we think it's the right thing to do to clean up the Goddess of Liberty. So assuming that you agree, we'll do that. We're asking you to vote on that, or if you have any questions, we'd be happy to answer them. I did not solve this by Memorial Day like she asked, but
Oh.
other than that, the letter is the reason for this, which we
So we need to
appreciate.
vote on that?
1750, right?
Yes.
Okay. Can we get a motion on that?
I don't know if there is. Is
There's
there-
not one, that's the thing. We're kind of-
I move we approve $1,750 for the cleaning of the Goddess of Liberty in the Carlisle Rotary.
Second.
Thank you very much. Let's do a voice vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any no votes? Okay, the ayes have it.
Thank you for the information on the Goddess of Liberty, too. I'd forgotten.
I enjoyed researching her.
Yeah.
And I had also noticed, we're just getting a little dirty there.
Yeah.
Hmm.
You get enough
Did
cars.
she ever hold anything?
Her hand is kind of like broken off.
Oh.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
We'll look at
Oh,
that as
that's
well.
that's next year's project.
We'll be voting on that as well.
Yeah.
I will look into that. That's important. Okay, a couple things we've already talked about tonight, but not in this medium where people might be listening. The special town meeting timeline is now set. The special town meeting is November 16th. The warrant was open tonight, July 14th, and will close on August 25th. Bylaw language is due to me by September 28th and will be finalized by October 5th for posting of the warrant on October 28th. So we're excited about town meeting. Additionally, we talked tonight about the annual maintenance, road maintenance project. We received very favorable numbers for all of our roads, which is Heald, Pope, South, West, Judy Farm Road, some drainage just above Audubon Lane, North Road, Indian Hill Road, and Autumn Lane, and the Select Board approved a total of $738,339 in road maintenance funding, leaving us a reserve of a little over $350,000 for next year's project. So we're excited to begin that. It could start as early as the first week in August. Switching to the elevator modernization project, that started. It feels like we've been talking about that for 18 months or so. That will end in time for school to begin, so about less than 40 days from now. Next will be the Carlisle Town Hall, which is about 45 days of work, which ends in around Christmas, which is depressing to think about. And then Gleason Public Library will go last and be incorporated into their renovation project. So 3 big projects that were approved a couple years ago, starting now. For the Connected Carlisle Sidewalk project, we had a meeting today with our CPC chair to talk about different ways to fund some of the ADA accessibility that was identified in the Diamond Park design process. Also, thank you to Representative Simon Cataldo. We were able to include a $200K bond earmark request in the House version of the Economic Development Bill. So this has not necessarily passed yet, and if it did pass, the governor would have to authorize the bond funding, but it's in there in case that passes. Usually these things take over a year to process, so maybe we'll have some funding for there as well. But as you can see, we're trying in every way to find money, and I do appreciate Representative Cataldo working on that. And you were the one, Dave, that brought that to my attention, because Rep. Cataldo's office was trying to call me all day, and I was busy with stuff, and then our new select board member told me to call him, and we got that done. So thanks to the team for all of that. No real updates on CPA projects. For your building construction projects, I do recommend taking a look at the police station. The final excavation was done So we're done dealing with dirt. And you can see some structures going up, and there's been a lot of displacement of staff inside, which means that work is progressing too. So the project is really speeding up. It's still behind schedule, but the contractor is doing a good job trying to catch up to that timeline. We are still under budget, which is an update I know you enjoy.
And sorry, what was Grant High School?
That was that's what almost everyone calls CPS. They think it's a high school. So that was just I clipped that from the contractor's timeline, but it's
okay.
actually CPS. And misidentifying the Grant building as the entire building. But
Oh, I see.
I promise you they know where the elevator is.
Okay. And how to fix one.
Yeah, yes, we're sure of that. I don't want to say we hope. For the fire station renovation, all the contracts are signed with the OPM, the architect, and the contractor. We've secured all the necessary documentation, insurance, and we expect a timeline within a month, with construction actually starting within a month. So that'll be really exciting. The DPW renovation, we met with the selected designer, HKA, to finalize a design proposal. Thank you to Travis for helping with that as well. We're comfortable that it is the right amount of money and scope to match what has been talked about thus far. The committee is going to be taking a field trip to the Hudson DPW, which HKA designed, to get a feel for what they did and what's being recommended, which I think is great. And then they're going to meet with you soon to talk about the things that you need to understand before designing starts for real. So any recommended changes or anything within the project that you might care about. So that's coming soon. And then lastly, for building projects, the library renovation has begun as well. All of the contracts are signed and insurances have been obtained, and the library has moved out. So they moved to River Street, number 1 River Street, and they expect to open back up on July 22nd, so a week from now. So they moved the entire library to a new location, set up the new location within 2 weeks. It's hard not to think of what a great leader Martha is to be able to accomplish all of that.
And as I understand it, she did a transition to Google-based systems and launched a summer reading program at the same time.
Yes.
Wow.
She is very talented. Some recognition here, you'll recognize the names. So first, Officer Ludwig. He joined the Carlisle Police Department in September 2025. Prior to joining our department, he served in the Mass Air National Guard from 2009 to 2015, and with the Dracut Police Department from 2014 to 2025. So if you were to go, like, it's Army and then Air Force, so that still counts. Although Officer Ludwig's time with the Carlisle Police Department was brief, he quickly established himself as a dedicated and dependable member of our team. Very strong work ethic, super positive attitude, helped his officers. We meet with everybody when they're leaving, and it was definitely a life opportunity for him. He did enjoy working with the department. We'll miss his professionalism, and maybe he'll come back one day. And then Kelly Callow, the health director, as we noted in Aubrey's report, we're losing a very talented health director. She wasn't here very long. She did bring a lot of professionalism and work ethic and increased health programming, and worked with me and others to digitize records and modernize processes, and definitely worked a lot with Janine to try to bring the Board of Health up to speed. So she leaves a very robust agenda for Janine, who is right now filling in. So we appreciate Kelly and her time here. Some discussions for you upcoming: a ADA transition proposal or discussion, a report. This is all of your accessibility needs around town, just things to think about in terms of capital investment, and it definitely allows us to have some grant opportunities. So you'll get that presentation. We've got to talk about early voting hours, as we do around any election. We're going to have the fire department and the DPW come in, those committees, and talk to you as well. So a lot to do, and I think we identified a couple more things tonight that I took notes on. So unless there's any questions, that's my report for this evening.
Good report.
Oh, one more, sorry. I knew there was one more. I could feel it. In the latest version of the packet, the library identified some furniture as they moved out that they no longer want. It is of almost no value, so they plan on mostly getting rid of it, but by law, you have to vote it surplus.
Okay.
So the vote would be to declare the library furniture as identified in your packet as surplus.
Yeah, I have it here. I was looking for a motion. There's no motions anymore. Just
A lot of stuff got added today.
On the fly, yes. Okay, can we have a motion on that?